Kevin, whether it's spring or fall, yard cleanup is a must. Today it's fall, and if you look, if these leaves are left matted on the lawn, they could kill the lawn. And in some cases, these leaves can actually carry disease spore, which will come out next year.
So our job is to clean them up, and the easiest way to do that is with a rake?
Yeah, and this is one of my favorites. This is a small plastic rake for going in and around shrubs, and this is a big plastic rake for really moving leaves.
See, now that's funny. You prefer the plastic one. I like the metal spring ones. It's got a spring right here, so there's some tension on these metal tines.
Yep.
And I like that resistance, because when I'm down there, it picks up the thatch as well as the leaves.
Well, I'm into production, and this one's twice the size of that, so I can really move some leaves around. Kevin, I love to see people compost their leaves. Now, there's a couple of ways to get the leaves to the compost area. Number one is you can fill this collapsible basket, take and load that up, and bring it right over to the pile.
Yep.
That takes a little effort.
And it's not that big, but it'll do for a small pile.
Right. For myself, I prefer to just take the leaves and rake them over to the top. Now you can really get a lot of leaves on the top, and once you do, you simply pick up a corner and take and drag it. There you go. See how easy they are to move?
Piece of cake.
Now, if you don't have an area to compost the leaves, you got to bring them out for the town to collect.
Right, and we want to make sure that we use a paper bag for that, because if you put the leaves in a plastic bag, that goes to the landfill, this goes to the compost pile.
Right. And when you're using a bag, anything that'll help you hold that bag sturdy is a big advantage. So a cardboard collar like this will just help you hold it up. And you just take and fill it up with leaves.
There are also a bunch of power tools that can help you with some leaves, and there are basically two types. So the ones that blow the leaves and ones that will vacuum the leaves. Now here's a small handheld one. It's electric, so it's quiet. And actually, this is kind of unique. It blows and it vacuums with an attachment.
Good for a small yard,
right,
but limited by the cord.
Yep, we got to drag that
Now,
around.
we're all familiar with gas-powered handheld and backpack blowers. This is a new one. Take a look at this. This is a propane-powered blower.
Huh.
So it's going to be quieter with less emissions.
Not too bad, Roger. It's got some power, but I'd say you're not messing around with a thing like this.
No, you want to see power? This is a 10 horsepower blower. This is what the commercial guys use all the time, but if a homeowner had a large yard, they can actually rent one. Here we have a power vacuum. It has a gas engine that powers the vacuum on the front here. It sucks the leaves up into a steel impeller where they get crushed up and then back to this bag. This unit actually attaches to the riding lawnmower.
So the leaves get picked up initially by the riding lawnmower, those blades that pick them up and mulch them?
Right, they start sending it up this tube, then it goes into this impeller, grinds them up again, and blows them up to this large capacity hopper.
It's a huge hopper.
Now, you remember those bags we raked earlier?
Yeah.
This grinds up 10 bags and reduces it to the size of one bag. So just imagine how many leaves we can put in here.
I don't want to imagine, Roger. I want to see. Once your hopper's full, you just back it up to the compost pile. There is a back panel here, which I will loosen, and then I'm just going to pop this off, Roger.
All right, get out of the way. I'm going to dump it.
Okay.
Look at all those ground up leaves.
Yeah, that is nice.
String trimmers need to be powerful and versatile enough to handle a variety of tasks around your lawn and garden. That's why Consumer Reports tests them for edging and trimming around walkways and how well they whack through tall grasses and weeds. Testers even make sure they're easy to use and comfortable to hold. This guide will walk you through the 3 types of trimmers: gasoline, corded electric, and battery powered, so you can pick a trimmer that best suits the work that needs attention in your yard. Subscribers to our website can access Consumer Reports' specific brand recommendations and exclusive product ratings. This video is interactive, so click any chapter to skip around. Gasoline trimmers are a popular choice when it comes to power and mobility, and for good reason. In our tests, we look for how quickly and neatly models edge and trim, and how powerful they are when it comes to tall grasses and weeds. Our recommended gasoline trimmers consistently earn top scores in those areas. They also work well if you need to take down hardier plants. With proper maintenance, a gasoline engine lasts about 10 years. The gasoline engines can be very loud, and they produce emissions. String trimmers come with either 2 or 4 cycle engines. 2-cycle engines perform better in our tests, but 4-cycle engines start easier and pollute less. We'll talk more about gasoline engines in the maintenance chapter. Corded electrics can be a good, inexpensive option for some homeowners. Consumer Reports tests have found the best ones can handle tall weeds and grasses just as well as some recommended gasoline models. But like any electric power tool, the cord limits how far you can go. And an extension cord can be cumbersome when it comes to maneuvering through your yard and garden. Battery-powered trimmers offer free range with no emissions. Consumer Reports' latest tests show many of the newest recommended battery-powered trimmers perform just as well as gasoline trimmers, but you'll pay a premium. The best models cost twice as much as the best corded electric trimmers. And most batteries only run about 15 to 30 minutes before they need a recharge. That should work for smaller jobs, but most take at least an hour to recharge. Not ideal if you've got a lot of trimming. Another factor to consider is that batteries only last half as long as a gasoline engine, typically 3 to 5 years. And buying a new battery can cost almost as much as buying a new string trimmer, about $100 to $150. After you've decided on what type of trimmer you need, it's a good idea to go to the store and check it out. Adjust it, hold it in the cutting position, and make sure the weight is evenly distributed. Also make sure the controls are easy to reach and operate, especially the stop switch. Trimmers come with either a straight or curved shaft. We note this in our ratings. Straight shaft models are typically more expensive and have a longer reach. These tend to be better suited for taller people. Another option is a curved shaft. These are typically lighter, easier to handle, and ideal for smaller jobs. Avoid models with a gap between the cutting head and the gearbox, like this. Tall grass can wind up around the unit, and if there's enough of it, the machine can stall. Models with a very small gap or protective sleeve avoided that issue in our tests. For gasoline models, look for helpful features to make starting the machine easier, like spring-assisted starting. Exhaust deflectors that aim gases toward the back and not to the side are the way to go. Trimmers with a centrifugal clutch design that lets the trimmer idle without spinning the line keeps it safe and easier to start. And a translucent tank lets you see when the gas is low. For electric models, look for a motor toward the top of the head. These offer better balance and handling. Some string trimmers offer a rotating head that swivels to a vertical position for easier edging. When it comes to the actual string of the trimmer, there are some options to consider. First, cheaper strings can melt together. Buy the best quality you can afford. Check your owner's manual to see which string size fits your trimmer. A line that's too thin for your specific trimmer will reduce cutting power. Too thick, and you may slow down the engine or motor. Trimmers with 2 lines can handle heavier growth and more grass than single-line models. A bump feed line advance conveniently releases the line from the spool when you bump the trimmer head on the ground. There are also fixed line heads on some string trimmers. Or you can buy these aftermarket. Instead of spool, you insert short lengths of line. You'll need to thread in new line more often, but this feature reduces the jams that can happen when loading spool. With any type of string trimmer, be sure to change the cutting string at the start of the season. Old string can become brittle and break easy. For gasoline engines, you'll need to do a little more. Make sure to remove the fuel and run the tank dry at the end of the season. Change the spark plug every 2 to 3 years too. For 2-cycle engines, check the owner's manual for the appropriate gas and oil mix needed for your trimmer's engine. It's usually a 40 to 1 or 50 to 1 gasoline to oil ratio, or you can buy pre-mixed gas and oil and just pour it in. String trimmers can kick up a lot of debris, and they're noisy, so always wear eye and hearing protection. Check out the rest of our lawn and garden tips as well as specific string trimmer recommendations based on our in-depth expert testing at consumerreports.org. We're a not-for-profit, and we pay for all of the items we test. Thanks for your support.